if diet, weight loss, nutrition, whatever that might be for you has been a challenging or a frustrating process, I want you to tune into this because in this video, I'm going to tell you what I believe are the top 3 things that any successful weight loss program, nutrition program needs. Okay. And the fact of the matter is there's a lot of different ways that a person can achieve their goals. And that's why it can be a little bit confusing out there on the internet because you see all of these different like methods and systems. And it's like, which one should I follow? I've been a nutrition coach for a long time. And what I have discovered is that there are a lot of different plans that can be successful, but all of them must have 3 components. And we're going to cover those today. All right. Number one that you absolutely need, no matter the plan that you're on, no matter what you've signed up for, no matter what you're tackling or how you're approaching your goals, is a sustainable plan. I can't emphasize that enough. That's why I put that as number one on here. So often I have people come to me for coaching and I'll ask them, like, what have you tried in the past? And a lot of times people have tried a plan that is simply, I'm going to eat as little as possible and I'm going to move my body as much as possible. This type of approach, while I know kind of makes sense on the inside and it's highly enticing, it rarely works because what happens is we wind up often in a situation where we are in such an energy deficit that we just can't keep up with it, right? And it feels good in the beginning and we're losing weight and we're thriving, we're going, we're doing it this time. And then at some point, sometimes pretty early on, the wheels fall off because your body is just asking you for more. And so we cave, right? We cave to the cravings. And then what's even worse is we tell ourselves this story that we suck, that we can't stick to anything, that we never stick to a plan, we're inconsistent, I'll never get this done. And in reality, none of those things are true. The truth is that you had a plan that just wasn't sustainable. Your calories were way too low. There was no way that this was something that you were going to be able to keep up with long term. And so your body sent you signals to eat the food. And that's why it's so important to create a plan that you can stick with long term. And what that often means is slowing things down just a little bit, or think about building slowly. Start your plan with just changing like one thing, maybe 2 things in your week. Maybe you start with trying to hammer out some really solid breakfasts and like this is your goal for the next 2 weeks. Then you start to layer things in. All right. I will often tell people if this doesn't feel like something that you can do for the next year, it's probably not going to be successful for you. And I know that that's not what anybody wants to hear, right? Like we're ready to take action, we want to see results. But the fact of the matter is, and this is fun to say, so I'm going to say it, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And it's not going to feel slow when you get into it because a month's going to go by and you're going to look back and you're going to be like, okay, I'm feeling some changes happening. So a sustainable plan is so incredibly important. And if you're like, I hear you, Coach Ashley, I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. Like, how do I create a sustainable plan? I have a ton of resources that can help you with that. Check out the link below. I have a 30-day kickstart that does exactly that. This just slow layering in of habits. It's manageable. You see results, you get moving. And I also have some group coaching and one-on-one coaching options as well if you feel like you just need a little bit more. But the biggest thing is look at what you're trying to do and ask yourself, can I make this fit in with real life for the next year? And if not, slow it down just a little bit. Turn the dial down to something that feels like you can. It may feel challenging, but it feels manageable. Challenging, but manageable. That's kind of the space that you're looking for. And every successful plan needs that. Okay, number 2, accountability. We have to have it. There may be some people out there, probably a small percentage, that are able to tackle these types of goals very well on their own. But I believe for the vast majority of us, having someone in your corner is incredibly powerful. We are social beings. We tend to do a little bit better in a group, in a community. That can mean so many different things. It could mean that if you have decided to tackle a weight loss goal or a nutrition goal or a fitness goal, that you need to pull a friend in with you to do that. How fantastic is that? I guarantee you that you can find a friend that's like, hey, I will do this for you. And that friend's really important because they can help celebrate the good weeks for you, right? Typically in a day, there's probably going to be at least one of you that's feeling more motivated than the other. You guys can help pull each other up. You can celebrate wins, but also find a friend that's comfortable calling you out on your bullshit when you need it. But this type of relationship is so important. It could be a community. You know, there are a lot of Facebook communities out there that are just thriving that you can get into and become active in it. That's the most important part. Don't just be a bystander looking back, like comment, post. That's what makes those communities so powerful and so important. You could hire a coach, really, truly. Like, if you feel like, hey, I really want to do this, I am committed to this, and I really feel like having someone in my corner who knows what I'm committed to, who is going to hold me accountable to those things, a coach can be a great way to achieve that as well. So get yourself a partner, get yourself a friend, get yourself a community or a coach when you decide to really dive into this. I promise you it will be a game changer for you. Okay, so we need a sustainable plan, we need an accountability system. The last thing a successful program needs a system of getting you out of your own way when you need it. And I know that that sounds a little bit aggressive, but a strong part of my nutrition coaching program lies in mindset. Because I know just how powerful our minds are when it comes to whether we are going to be successful with a goal or not successful with a goal. And I won't go too much into depth on that today, but know this mindset. Right? Mindset's kind of one of those like buzzwords, and there's a lot of different definitions, and some of them are kind of woo woo and out there. But for me, mindset is simply this it's the story you're telling yourself, that story that we have on auto repeat, what we're capable of, what we're not capable of, what we're good at, what we're not good at, the type of person that we are, the type of person that we aren't. And spending some time to really invest in looking at that story that you're telling yourself and deciding, like, which of these stories do I want to entertain? And which of these stories do I want to place to the side when they come up? That's a powerful skill to develop. One of the best ways to tackle this is by writing things down. So I have an exercise that I want you to do to tackle precisely this before you dive in deep to your next goal or weight loss program or whatever it is that you're getting excited about to start. And if you're not ready to do this right now, then I want you to put this on a piece of paper or save this video or forward it to yourself, whatever you need to do so that you can pull this back whenever you're ready to hit that go button. I want you to get out a piece of paper. And at the top of your paper, I want you to write out my 6 month home run story. Okay. And you're going to write a story about you 6 months from now. And I want you to put it in present tense. I am, and tell this story of you knocking this out of the park. What kinds of things are you doing? What kinds of things are you saying to yourself? How are you addressing the hard days? That's an important one because here's the deal. This is not going to probably be every day is unicorns and rainbows. You're going to go through some harder times for this. What kind of things did you tell yourself? What did you do to get yourself moving again? All right, so this is going to be a very realistic story about what you go through and how you experience success in there. Address the negative thoughts. You could put in there, I started to tell myself things like, and list those gnarly thoughts that come up for you sometimes. And then underneath it, put under there, this is what I did when they came up. Because what you're doing in this is you're mentally rehearsing this very powerful mindset. What you're also doing is you are showing yourself that some of these thoughts that you have, some of these limiting beliefs that pop up from time to time, they're simply just thoughts. They're a part of you, but they're not all of you. There's this whole other part of you that's capable of these very, very powerful things. This is just a small part. And when we move those thoughts to paper and we kind of look at them, sometimes they don't hit quite as powerfully, right? Like we see them from a little bit of a different perspective. That's a powerful space to be in. So I would strongly encourage a practice like this anytime you're headed in to a big goal. So these are your three things. Make sure your program has these. You need a sustainable plan. You need an accountability partner or system or group, and you need a way to address the bullshit stories that you may tell yourself along the way. Again, if this sounds awesome, but you're like, how do I start this? Check out my resources, check out my coaching programs. There's something in there for everybody. If you enjoy this type of information, I love to teach. I get on here every week and I do this. Hit like, subscribe, follow along. I could be your virtual coach as well. Put comments if you have them or questions. I love to hear from people. Thank you for being here.